got him good, so we did. Did you hear him scream? I got him right in the face.
That was me. You got his jacket. Mud running all down his precious uniform. Serves him right.
Well done, lads. Now we need to go back and get his wife.
His wife?
What for?
She's an RIC, bitch. She has to pay the price.
But she's a woman.
What's your point?
Well, I just...
She's married to an RIC man. We don't need her like in this town. She's lucky she's not dead already.
Dead, with a bullet through her head.
RIC, bitch. RIC, bitch.
RIC, bitch.
Let's get her!
Woohoo!
Fractured. A family, a nation, a dream.
Gurriers, a lot of them. Honest to God, Betty. They couldn't have been any more than 12 years of age.
That's terrible, Tom.
Bloody cheek of them. My jacket is destroyed. I have to wear this tomorrow.
Throw it down here, love. I'll give it a scrub and dry it in front of the fire this evening. It'll be grand.
If I'd done something like that at their age, Jesus, I wouldn't have lived to tell the tale.
I know.
Disrespecting an officer of the state.
Dreadful.
I should have run after them, given them a fright, taught them a lesson.
No, Tom. You did the right thing. It could have been an ambush. God knows what could have happened to you.
It's not in my blood to walk away.
No. But sometimes we have to. Here, let me see that. Just a bit of mud. It'll be good as new in the morning. Sit down and have your dinner before it goes cold. I'll get you a nice cup of tea.
Could you bring in some butter for the spuds?
Sorry, we're out. I'll go to Kilcock tomorrow.
For Christ's sakes, you shouldn't have to walk 3 miles to get a pat of butter.
I don't mind. I'll take the bike.
Not much Sinn Féiners in this place. It'll make you sick.
Tea?
Aye. It's no wonder their children are the way they are.
Milk is in the jug.
Well, they can keep their bloody butter. I'll keep my hard-earned wages and spend them somewhere else. This place won't see a shilling of it. Sorry, Betty, love.
It's okay, Tom. Hard day?
The usual.
Short-staffed again?
3 down. Noel Roberts hasn't shown up for 2 weeks.
Poor man.
What?
He must be finding it tough.
We're all finding it tough, Betty.
I know, it's just that...
Some of us are just more willing than others to do what it takes to keep law and order in this country. It'll probably get worse before it gets better. Young Hughes, Joseph Hughes, you know him?
I think you mentioned him.
Good lad, nice fella. Just made sergeant. He heard this morning. No doubt he'll be posted elsewhere before we know it.
Well, that'll be lonely for him.
I think there's a girlfriend somewhere.
Brave girl.
What?
Well, you hear stories, don't you? What happens to those poor girls who go out with RIC men? Is she local, I wonder? She'd want to watch out for herself.
There was a time when nothing in the world would stop you from going out with an RIC man.
Different times, Tom. I was so proud to be walking beside you in your fancy uniform.
Was?
Well, don't get much of an opportunity these days, do we? I'd say if we walked down this street together and you in your uniform, it'd be more than a bit of mud that'd be thrown at me.
Anyone lays a finger on you, they'll have every RIC officer minute on their backs. It'll get better, love. It's bad now, I know, but it'll pass. We'll get through it.
Now try telling that to Donald Buckley. His shop is destroyed. God save the king, painted all over it.
I know. Bloody tans. They give us all a bad name.
The Tans did it.
I left a message to say if he didn't stop calling himself O'Bucla, the shop would be torched next time.
Oh, it's no wonder everyone hates us.
Nobody hates.
I can't leave the house, Tom. Nobody speaks to me. Nobody smiles at me. Nobody looks at me. I can't get served in a shop. Nobody sits with me in mass. Nobody calls to my door. If I fell down and died in the street, I don't think a single solitary soul would care enough to spit on me.
I would, sweetheart. I'd spit in you. Good big gob of it right in the face.
I'll go on. You make a joke out of everything. I'm serious, Tom. It's awful.
It'll get better, love. I promise.
When?
Soon. And we'll get through it together. We always have.
I heard from Mummy today.
Oh, yes. How is she?
Fine. You know, Mammy. News about everyone from home. I think she writes it all down as it happens and waits until she has at least 5 pages filled before posting.
How many deaths?
Only 2.
That's disappointing for her. Any suspicious circumstances?
None. 2 peaceful passings.
Oh, she should join the RIC.
She was hoping I might go and visit her for a while.
Sorry, love, I can't be taking leave. We're flat out. There's enough slackers in there as it is.
I could go on my own.
I have to set an example for the lads. What?
I'm happy to go on my own. Sure, Mummy and me have loads to be doing. She's fierce lonely since Daddy died.
He died over 5 years ago.
7 years next month. The Lord have mercy on him. And she needs help on the farm.
She has your brothers.
Somebody to get a few messages for her.
Can they not?
Do a few jobs around the house.
I might be able to take a week later on in the year. August, maybe. We can go then.
She's worried about me.
She thinks I can't look after you.
She's heard the stories. She doesn't think it's safe for me anymore.
I think I might be a better judge of what's safe for my own wife. Thank you very much.
I want to go. I hate it here, Tom. I want to go home.
This is your home. Has been for 20 years, for God's sakes. How long for?
Just until things settle down. You said yourself it wouldn't be long.
Please don't go. It's hard enough with it. Who's that at this hour? Hughes, come in.
Very sorry to disturb you, Sergeant Dwyer. Mrs. Dwyer. We're 3 men short for this evening's patrol and Head Constable Burns said you might be able to help out. I'm on the beat here for another hour and then I can see that you're busy. I'll tell him.
No, it's fine. You go, Tom. You're needed.
Are you sure? If you want...
Not at all. Here you are, good as new. We'll talk later, love. Give us both time to think. Stay safe.
Mary, what are you doing here? Come in, girl, it's freezing out there.
Sorry, Mr. Dwyer. I wasn't expecting... I came to talk to Mrs. Dwyer.
To Betty. And here she was only just this evening saying that nobody ever called into her anymore. Come on inside, she'd be delighted to see you.
Evening, miss.
Constable?
Sergeant to you, Mary.
Oh, I didn't know.
Sure, how would you? This young lad's going places.
Mary, how lovely to see you. What? Come in. Come in, will you have tea?
Thanks, Mrs. Dwyer.
We'll leave you to it then. Bye, love. I shouldn't be too late.
Hopefully I won't be too late either. I just have to finish my beat. Another hour should do it.
That's lovely.
Goodbye then.
Be home as soon as I can.
Sit down, Mary. I haven't seen you in a long time. Is your mummy keeping well?
She is, Mrs. Dwyer.
Joseph?
Fine too. I'm terribly sorry, Mrs. Dwyer, about you not getting served in the shop. I don't think it's very fair. It's not your fault that Mr. Dwyer is...
Don't worry about it, Mary. Joseph is upset about Sean, and that's very understandable. Was that what you came to see me about?
Yes, it was.
Well, you're a very kind girl to think of me. Take after your mummy, so you do.
I can get your messages for you if you want. Just give me a list. No one will know.
Oh, thank you, Mary. But I wouldn't want you going against Joseph's wishes. He's just supporting his family, that's all.
The RIC officers are doing just the same. I think they're very brave, so I do.
Don't let too many people hear you say that.
What's it like to be married to a sergeant, Mrs. Dwyer?
Same as any other man, I suppose.
Oh, but it's not the same. It can't be. He's so important and brave and clever.
Are we talking about Mr. Dwyer here?
Mr. Dwyer? Yes.
I married Mr. Dwyer over 20 years ago, Mary. Even then, it wasn't easy.
Did your family disown you?
No, nothing like that. They were delighted for me. The RIC was a very respectable job. It is a very respectable job.
Of course it is. They're the only people willing to do what it takes to protect law and order in this country.
Mary, when an RIC man wants to get married, he has to get permission from his superiors.
permission.
To make sure his wife is suitable. It wouldn't do, for example, if an RIC officer was to marry a woman with connections to the volunteers.
Even if that woman had nothing to do with the volunteers herself.
They can't take any chances.
Just as well he don't have any connections to the volunteers, so, Mrs. Dwyer.
It is, isn't it? Because if Mr. Dwyer really wanted to marry me, he would have had to leave the RIC.
But he loves it so much. He really believes in what he's doing. He's so dedicated.
He is, and that's one of the reasons you want to marry him in the first place, isn't it?
What am I going to do?
Being married to an RIC man is hard, Mary.
I'm strong.
You have to live far away from your family and friends. Nobody talking to you. Nobody serving you in the shops.
We always said it would be the two of us against the world.
When the whole world is against you, love, 2 is a very small number.
It's only for a short time. It'll get better.
Then wait until it gets better, for your own sake. And his.
You won't tell anyone, will you, Mrs. Dwyer?
Sure, who would I tell?
Oh, God!
RIC scum!
Get down, Mary.
Traitor!
Don't let anyone see you.
Who is it?
I don't know.
RIC
2 or 3 big lads. Their faces are covered.
Cowards.
Traitor!
I probably know them. Let me have a look.
No! Get down!
I'm not afraid of them.
Well, you should be.
Are they threatening to blow your house up?
Ugh, I don't know.
We have to get out of here.
You can't be seen.
Back. Come on.
RIC bitch!
You go. Jump over the wall into Murphy's and then around by the side entrance.
What about you?
It doesn't matter about me.
Of course it matters about you. We need to get you to safety.
I've nowhere to go, Mary. There's nobody who'll have me.
Blackguards! Get on there with you. Upsetting respectable people like that.
Nothing respectable about the RIC or anyone related to them.
Traitors to the cause, the whole lot of them.
RIC, bitch! Up the rebels! We know you're in there, Betty Dwyer.
Get your traitor husband to resign or face the consequences.
Up the Republic!
Yeah,
up the Republic!
Move on there now, immediately, or you'll have consequences of your own to face.
Beat your own people, would you?
No people of mine would threaten an innocent woman alone in her own home. You should be ashamed of yourselves.
It's the like of you who should be ashamed. Come on, lads. I think we've made our point.
Yeah, up the Republic!
Up the rebels!
Mrs. Dwyer, Mary, are you all right?
Joseph.
Oh, thank God. Mary,
No, it's okay. Mrs. Dwyer knows our secret. I was so worried about you. Those lads could have done anything.
they're just young fellas. All talk. Are you all right, Mrs. Dwyer? That was a terrible experience for
I'm
you.
fine, Constable. Thank you. That was very brave of
They
you.
said they were going to blow the house up.
Anyone lays a finger on you, they'll have every RIC officer in Maynooth on their backs.
Well, there weren't too many of them here when they were needed.
Well, we're short-staffed this evening.
Let's hope everyone reports for duty the night those lads come back to set fire to our house.
You probably shouldn't stay here this evening, Mrs. Dwyer. Can I escort you to a safe place?
There aren't any safe places for RIC wives.
A friend's house?
We don't have any friends, Constable.
At least let me take you to the station. I'll apprise Sergeant Dwyer of the situation and
He'll what? Retire from the constabulary? I don't think so. Would you retire, Constable Hughes?
No, of course not. Not for anything. Who else is going to defend law and order in this country?
I'd appreciate it if you would tell Sergeant Dwyer what's happened and ask him to come home as soon as he can.
I'll wait with you, Mrs. Dwyer.
Thanks, Mary, but you've been put in enough danger this evening. I'd prefer to know that you're safe.
I'll bring you home, Astor McCree.
She might be safer going on her own.
I'll be fine. It's more important to get Mr. Dwyer home. Go. Quickly. I might go out the back way.
Mary,
Yeah?
2 is a very small number.
Fractured is a Down at Heel production. All episodes were written by Joe Bergen, Brendan Farrell, Claire Joyce and Martina Riley. Sound engineer is Brendan Farrell. Fractured is supported by Kildare County Council through a bursary from Creative Ireland. It is also supported by the County Kildare Decade of Commemorations programme and the Department of Tourism, Culture, Arts, Gaeltacht, Sport and Media under the Decade of Centenaries 2012 to 2023 initiative.